Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming from, to another authentic conversation with Adele. We have this podcast to share what we do, to bring guests onto the show, and to engage with our audience on different topics, different ideas, different people to help you in your journey. And we're here as Transition Clarity, and I'm your host, Adele Bernard. And at Transition Clarity, it's all about walking you home. And it's all about how can we live our purpose, live our dreams by getting out of the muck of the head into the heart and really following our true desires and passions. By clearing away the belief systems, the conditionings, and the untruths that you've been told your whole life that you're not. But more importantly, it's about aligning back to your true authentic self, the self that aligns with the God, the source within you. If you want to know more about Transition Clarity, check out the bio. We'd love to have a chat with you or use the QR codes to connect. Today on Authentic Conversations, my guest is Brigitte Bojkowszky, a visionary brand identity strategist and business educator with decades of global expertise in crafting transformative and impactful brands identities. She specializes in holistic branding, reshaping corporate brands, aligning cultures with values, and defining entrepreneurial and leadership entities. From her early career as a flight attendant to corporate leadership, academia, and ultimately entrepreneurship, Brigitte brings a wealth of experience and a proven track record of success. Her unique journey fuels her abilities to connect deeply with her clients, helping them uncover their unique brilliance and step into their full potential with confidence and clarity. Dedicated to serving a higher purpose, Brigitte is passionate about empowering corporations and individuals to see their own greatness and embrace it. Through her work, she inspires her clients to align their inner values with their outward expression, fostering authentic, impactful brands and leave a lasting impression. And with that, I would like to welcome Brigitte to the show. And once again, let's welcome Dr. Brigitte to the show. I'm happy to have you.
Hello, Adele. Thank you so much for having me. You
So,
just made me smile.
thank you. Um, so, so people know your background a little bit. So help me fill in some of the gaps of how do you go from a young flight attendant through the academia to a branding specialist. Like those are pretty big leaps, but yet not at all in some ways. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's a journey for sure, and not a straight line. It was kind of, you know, not even, I cannot say chaotic because everything makes sense and one feeds into the next step and into the next step and something you feel like, you know, that is a chapter, this is a lifespan, and then you move into the next one and you decide to grow into the next one. Sometimes you are nudged, sometimes you feel like you need to. And I feel like it's kind of seemingly disjointed parts, but at the
mhm,
end of the day, it comes together like a puzzle and everything makes sense. But you only understand it makes sense once you are so far
mhm,
on your journey already. at the beginning, it's all like, okay, let's explore and let's do this and let's do that. And then you feel like, okay, I'm done with this. What's the next thing that is going to come? And you decide, right? It's your journey. And so I made my decision based on how I felt and my experience in that specific chapter. It's also the past
Hmm.
that nudges you instinctively towards something new, and then you walk it. And I'm not the person who starts complaining and doesn't stop complaining when I see it, there is no fit anymore, and you try and you try and you try to adapt, and it's still, you feel like it's not the right thing for you, cut.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for me, becoming a flight attendant was a child's dream. I was a little girl and I was like, I want to be up there in the sky and I
Yeah.
want to discover the world and I want to see places and I want to get out of this small little country here in the middle of Europe called Austria. And there is so much to explore. I just need to get out here. It was always my urge to get out of this place.
Yeah.
It's a nice place, but it's a small place, and the mindset is very traditional. And I was always open to explore and learning new things and how do people do it there and why is this happening here and yeah, just getting an understanding of other cultures, mentalities, motivations behind why they are doing what they are
Yeah.
doing. And you see so many differences, but at the same time, you see also similarities. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, we are all human beings, and I think the common denominator is being happy. Happy at the end of the day. That's it.
Well, and it's
Happy.
interesting you say that about looking up at the sky and seeing the planes and saying like there's a whole new world out there to
Yeah.
explore and it's funny because I was trying to go down your path as a young girl to do the airline thing and everything was like you don't like noise and I'm like I don't like noise. And so that kind of got me on my path. Like I love the conversation. I love meeting other people. I love seeing how the differences are different, but yet we're the same, right?
Yeah.
I just needed to do it in a quieter way. So,
Yeah, we all choose our paths, and for
yeah,
me, this was one ticket out.
yeah,
And it was not just learning other countries' mentalities and stuff like that, but it was also learning up in the air, learning about myself, learning about other people,
hmm,
kind of scanning people when they walk in, getting a feeling, being empathic, kind
yeah,
of anticipating already, what is this person like? What do they want to drink? What do they want to read? You just try to read people's mind based on their appearance.
yeah.
And you get into that. This was a huge learning for me and something that helped me all the way um, throughout my life. It's not kind of stereotyping in a sense. Yeah. I mean, of course, you try to make sense in a holistic way, uh, but we have to be careful not to generalize and put everyone into a specific basket, yeah,
Hmm.
based on, yeah. But you get a better understanding. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think a good expression would be you start reading between the lines. Between the
I
lines, what
love that.
and also based on their appearance, you just make sense of things and get the feeling of, "Oh, where is this person coming from? Did they have a rough day? What can I do to support, to help, to make them feel comfortable?" So this kind of anticipation on their desires, on their needs, and I think that is what a good host needs to do, and that's what
Well,
I learned.
and it also brings into the equation the branding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is all about
Because
It's about making people feel. How can I make a person feel based on what I can bring to the table? And this means you need to know yourself first, who you are and who your company is, what it is about, your identity as a person, but also as a company. What can you give, what you can bring to the table? At the same time, you need to anticipate what are my clients, or you want to call it customers, needs, desires,
Mhm.
pain. You need to feel into them, and then you bring both together. And there's where the magic happens. If you can serve them in the way they feel attracted to,
Mhm.
then you are the brand to go. You are the one who is top of mind. And then you make them sticky. Stickiness means they are coming back.
Yeah.
They're not considering any other brand. It's because they feel something about you. I don't know. Do you have a favorite coffee brand or a
Well,
favorite
what
toothpaste brand? You go there because it makes you feel something.
but it's interesting because I was brought up in the hospitality and I also stayed in hospitality for a while I was trying to figure out what to do. But even in what I do now about bringing people home into their hearts, right?
Mhm,
You
mhm,
have an idea of who people are by the way they talk, the way they dress, the way,
mhm,
right? And I'm just going to use a famous person because we all can relate to um, Kate, like Princess Kate, right? Because in her 20s, she wore the skirts over the knees,
mhm,
right? She wore it, right? Now she's a mother of three, head into her 40s. The skirts are longer. It's more presentable. It's just, and people say, well, that's the royals do. No, it's not. At a certain age, you gotta wear different clothes. It's your brand mark. If you're still dressing in your 60s as you would dress in your 20s, are you gonna get respect? Are you gonna get like, this is somebody to look up? No.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on what you want in life and how you want to be seen and how you want to feel good. If someone in the 60s wanna wear short skirts, then they can, of course, why not? But then they also are in a different crowd. They are leading a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
They're in a different circle, in a different environment of people where they find each other. So, and I think for Kate, this is the way of
Well, but
how
it's
she.
also, but I mean, like, with all due respect, like to share, I mean, she's phenomenal. She's been in the business forever. She can rock it like nobody else can.
Mm,
But then on the other hand, it's like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I like so, but I'm just thinking about the branding of things and the how we
yeah.
look at the brand, right?
Yeah. And just one more sentence about
Yeah.
Kate. She has consultants or consulters
Yeah.
who help her. And also, I think there is a code of conduct, a dress code, and everything that goes along with that. So you're kind of in an environment where there are do's and don'ts. And I think you have to run with that as well.
Well,
And
and
can.
I also want to say too that like I've heard this in other arenas of like, well, we 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 only can buy the brand that we can afford. And I was like, that's true, but you can get the best out of your dollar by knowing how to use it. The
Um,
same dollar can buy the same $100 thing. It's
uh,
how do you put it together? It's just like we were
exactly.
talking about QR codes, right?
It's about
My
taste.
brand is $1. Your brand is getting elevated to $100 because you know how to do the tools better.
Yeah, but you
And
can
that's okay.
Yeah, but you can also mix and match, and you can
Yeah.
also, if you have style, if you have taste, if you know what fits you, if you know yourself,
Yeah.
then you can also go with, let's say, let's say, generic brands, or with, we call that
Yeah.
no brands or
Yeah.
something
Knockoffs.
wrong. Yeah. I mean, you can mix and match things beautifully together. It doesn't need to be a flagship brand in order to look good.
Yeah.
it really it's about taste and knowing yourself and how to put things together. This is it.
Well, and that's interesting because branding is a huge game, right? And it's also what I might love and say, okay, this is the brand, this is what I like, everyone's gonna love this. And you put it out to market and it goes flop. And you're like, but
Yeah.
I love it. And then you go, okay, so what? So then you start doing some polls and you start figuring out like what is the audience looking for? What is,
Mm.
the average consumer that's buying product A want,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I have a different approach to the whole thing,
Okay.
It, because branding isn't just about the logos, about the colors, about a slogan, a catchy slogan, and a tagline. It's about identity.
Okay.
And I think what a lot of brands that are hollow and not authentic, they don't have a unique story to tell. They don't have a message. They don't have this value to bring to the world. What is it all about? People are very, very fast tracked. Let's do marketing. Let's have marketing, a sales funnel. And then the branding comes later. But excuse me, what are you selling if you don't have a brand in place, a narrative, what you stand for, what you are, what you want to project to the world? What do you want to market? Yeah,
Hmm.
this is it. So it's whether it's an individual, a person, or whether it's a business. Yeah, your brand communicates what you are, what you stand for, and why people would choose you. And if you do not have a narrative, if you do not have meaning attached to what you mean to people, what you mean to the world, then most probably it will not work. And you can do the best marketing, it will not work.
Hmm.
And that's what most companies that fail underestimate how important it is to attach strong meaning to something.
Well, and the world knows like um there's some tussle between the US and Canada right now. And I think it's
Totally
brilliant.
there.
Yeah, and I think it's brilliant because we have a food chain here that all of a sudden, with all this tussle back and forth, they're branding with a big Canadian flag.
Mhm.
Come buy our burgers. We are proud to be Canadian. And I was like, huh, I've grown up with you. I didn't know you're Canadian. Had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it was not necessary to claim country of origin.
I know, but like it's just like 50 years
Now,
later, it is.
now it's necessary. Now
Yeah.
there is a point in doing so.
Yeah.
But it gets you thinking, you see, that the brand now is top of mind because they're using
Yeah.
that as a marketing technique. Yeah,
Yeah.
marketing.
And we've had other companies that have disappeared that used to be Canadian, but whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Anyway, so this is a huge branding is a topic that is underestimated and goes in all it has so many different layers. Yeah? It goes into everything that you are doing basically because everything is communicating and so you yeah, your brand is the foundation for
yeah.
your success, I would say.
Well, and it was funny because even building my backdrop, I wanted to use one of my favorite mountains, right? From where I live. And I couldn't figure out like how to get it to go with my message,
Mhm.
right? Of being the light to bring you home. And I'm like, but I love my Mount Rundle. And it's like, no. I go, okay. Now I've kind of been nicknamed in the networking as the lighthouse lady.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
not they might not remember like transition clarity, but I'm the lighthouse lady. And I'm like, cool, I'll take it.
So if that resonates with you, and if you feel like, yes, actually they are right, then take it. Yeah, run with it. If you can associate yourself with that.
Well, it's just that I'm saying I like I help people come home to them by finding their inner light.
And
So
that
if I'm
else.
your lighthouse lady, I'm good with that because you know
Absolutely.
to come and I will help find your light. And so I want to touch on the part where you say like you do branding in a holistic way.
Mhm.
So how is that different to all the other branding people?
Yeah, when you hear branding, now I want to ask you, Adele, what comes top of mind when you hear the word branding?
Like a slogan, a different decal, a different, they have their identity.
Yeah, but branding is so much more.
Yeah.
That is just how you express it in physical terms. You make it
Mm-hmm.
tangible with the colors, with the logo. You remember a logo, you remember a tagline. Just do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you remember certain things that you associate with that brand. Those are the so-called brand elements. You make it tangible so people understand. Yeah. But this is kind of the end state.
Mm-hmm.
You start with mindset. Branding always starts from within.
Okay.
It's who we are, what we want to do, how we want to serve the world, how we want to serve people. So it always starts from within, and then you attach a feeling to that, and then you take certain actions to that, and then da 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 da. So branding is always it's about identity, how you wanna present yourself to the world. It starts from within, and it starts from within of people, whether these are people, yeah, individuals, whether
Mm-hmm.
those are then people leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So I do personal branding, but I also am in leadership branding when it comes to your professional branding. So how to become a better leader, how you kind of elevate your executive presence. This is also part
Okay.
so a layer of branding. Branding and leadership is a marriage. Because you kind of a role model. You are someone who brings the greatness out of people. But how do you do that? First, you need to know yourself, who you are, and how you show up as a leader. Yeah? In order to first, you need to lead yourself in order to be able to lead others. So, and this is about people, and then it's about communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's for example, within an organization, you work with people. It's a culture that you create, and a culture that you create is an identity, and that shapes your company brand, your company identity. So the company identity is come together by the values that we share, the way of how we want to present ourselves to the world. This is the company identity, and then you also have the product identity. Yeah, you have, let's say, um, Porsche as a, but there are also different cars. You have, let's say, different models. Each model is an individual brand. So products are branded, experiences are branded, services are branded. Yeah, I'm a service-based company. I offer services like workshops and one-on-one coaching and group coaching and speaking engagements and so on, right? That is also branded. It has an identity. But I'm kind of it's all based on me because I'm the person behind all of that. So I go with the personal branding, even though there's Brigitte brands. Yeah, there
Mm-hmm.
is Brigitte Bojkowszky who is behind that. Yeah, so there is a certain meaning or flavor attached to that. So that's why holistic, because an identity can be anything. It can be a country.
Well,
Yeah.
and so I just caught how the holistic works within what you do
Mhm.
because so many people are trying to get their company brand, their company logo, their company. And you're saying, no, 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 bring it back to who are you? who's pouring into the company, who
Yes.
is pouring into the clients, customers, whatever,
Yes.
right?
Yes, because we people are the ones who are engaging with people, even though business to businesses. It's SAP talks with, I don't know, any other business,
Yeah.
but there's people behind. So it's about the humans behind these big corporations. It's we are human, especially nowadays in the wake of AI, and where we talk to chatbots and to machines basically, right?
Yeah.
It's about the human behind everything that we value again. And that's I'm a proponent of humanizing brands. It's the people behind. And when you are offered a service, you are going to fly somewhere, or you go with the train, or you are in a supermarket, it's the people that you
Hmm.
interact with, the people that
Well,
makes an experience, an exceptional experience. And that is what you remember. It's how you are treated by the people that represent that brand. When you go to a hotel, it's nice to be treated and to be, you know, in a specific way. And that's what
well,
you remember.
okay, so this brings up a different avenue because I've heard this from people, and I've recognized it as I was growing up. Like people notice people in hospitality when they started in hospitality,
Mhm, mhm.
right? So you and I both, in a way, started in hospitality,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So when I remember, like when I was younger, and it was like my girlfriends and I would have a day off together, and we were just like, oh, let's just go sit at the patio, get drinks, have a leisurely day in the sun on the patio. And we'd walk in, and the server's trying to serve us fast, right? And we're like, it's our day off. We're chilling. We'll call you when we're ready.
Mm.
And she goes, where do you guys work? She knew immediately. And we picked our various restaurants, right? Then I'm older and everyone's like, oh, go to the concierge, go to the concierge. And I'm like, no, they're going to give you the high end, like, no, I want a casual, local, great place to eat that, that isn't crazy dollars. Well, what are you going to do? And I go, bus boys. What? Bus boys. So you go to the bellhops, right? And I go, okay, where's the best place looking for this kind of food? Oh, go down here, kind of go through the back alley, but it's the best. I go, thank you. And everyone's like, how do you find these things? Find the people who are more like you.
Yes.
You'll get the truth. Like, I remember friends and I went to Hawaii, and there's all this stuff, like everyone, like the big places, the big places. And I'm like, no. We found a hole in the wall, or basically in the ground, because it's underneath the fancy place. They gave us a going away party. They couldn't figure out why we weren't staying
Mm. Mm.
because it was the locals. It was their hair was down. They just wanted to have fun. And then you also think about, like, working in the hospitality industry. You have built-in negotiation skills. You have built-in how to mediate. You have built in all these skills that you think, well, I'm just doing a flight attendant or a server, or it's not
Mm.
just anything.
Mm.
You are being trained how to walk into that boardroom, listen to everyone who's talking and going, so are we all on the same page with this item? And then they go, oh yeah, I guess, eh? Yeah. Okay.
But still, also here, if you know who you are, you can still remain authentic as you are. And that's
Absolutely.
interesting again. And something I would like to say to exploring other places,
Hmm.
it's just getting out of your comfort zone and exploring. I mean, when I am out somewhere in a new city, whether it's Delhi, Bangkok, it was, or whatever big city it is, the first thing, yeah. get casual and leave the hotel room and just explore the city. Go to places that where other people, well, where are you going? Oh my God. But it's where you find, yeah, you are, you find the people that resonate, you find the places where the energy just,
Yeah. You find the locals
yeah,
you
you
can
find
go and
that.
chill with because you want
That's,
to end your day,
yeah,
right? You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I've been serving all day. Like, I just want to chill. I want to go find the people of
Yeah.
the city.
Exactly. And it also works with recommendations from people that you know that you feel like comfortable with. Yeah.
Mhm,
And that is the same in business. It's when there were people who were working with you, people who know you. Yeah. It's about the recommendation. It's word of mouth or
mhm,
it's virtual word of mouth. Yeah.
mhm,
It's about recommending. It's the way because these are people, they speak highly of you. It's different than when the company is promoting something, is
mhm,
marketing something, yeah? Because we trust people
mhm.
who we relate to,
Yeah,
who are on the same level, who are in the same environment, in the same space. Those we trust much more. There is a certain percentage, I don't have it top of
yeah.
mind now, but it's huge. Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
And that's where I'm trying to get my business to get back to of like social media is fine, whatever, like it's fine. I want to get, we had a great conversation. If you need XYZ, call. Or do you want an introduction? Awesome. I'll introduce you. Where the introduction goes, none of my business.
Yeah, in this
If you
anonymous,
get if you connect, great. If you don't connect, that's up to you. But I feel good by sharing the because I know in my other business, every person I got was word of mouth, and half the time I couldn't trace back who gave it to me. The
Mhm.
degrees of separation was too far. But in saying that, somebody had to know me enough because I would get a snail mail letter and a check, right? I didn't have an address they could look up. I had a box number. So somehow within the 6 degrees of separation,
Yeah. Mhm.
they knew somebody that knew my box number to send a letter
That
and a
speaks for
check and
you.
say thank you.
Yeah, that speaks for you. I mean, that's a compliment. That's what we want, right? This
Yeah.
is this is what why we are doing things. This is why it makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Mhm.
and I think we've gotten lost in the art of actually having a communication, having a relationship,
Yeah.
because everyone's like, "Oh, we got to post this, and we got to do this, and the algorithms are this," and I go,
Yeah.
"Who are you
Yeah.
trying to reach? Are you trying to reach Bill? You trying to reach Sally? Who? What person are you trying to meet? What company are you trying to meet? Find the relationship."
Yeah.
And that's where I think branding comes in. It's
Exactly.
building that relationship.
Yeah. And we are living in an anonymous world, basically. Yeah, because we are talking to, we just imagine there's another person sitting in front of us in order to, be natural, in order to be in human in a way. Yeah. But people are craving for these relationships. And that's why, and only true relationships happen when you are your authentic you.
Well,
If you
when
are
you're actually in your body.
exactly, because if you're not you, if you are having a facade, or putting a mask in front of you and just trying to be someone you are not, guess whom you are attracting? It's
Yeah.
the wrong people, right? And we all were there. We all had that because we wanted to fit in and be part of this group and part of that. So we try to conform and, take away from our authentic self. Maybe we didn't even know who we truly are because there usually, when do you ask this question
Hmm.
first? Usually when something happens, who am I
Hmm.
truly? But usually when you're older, some people are younger, but anyway. And so it's about you want to have like authentic relationships with people that you really, really feel comfortable with, and build something together
Yeah.
and grow. And you want to be in a community where you feel free, even though you belong to something. And this is beautiful. You belong to a group, but at the same time, you feel free. And you feel free because you can be who you truly are. And those are the people too. The most beautiful thing is when you can lift up and support each other. And
Well,
that's,
and it's interesting as you say about the community, and one of my conundrums is I've always wanted to be in the community. But I just I'm always the forethought, like the leader. So it's like, I'm accepting it now. It's taken me a long time. As I get
yeah.
older, I'm accepting it. But it's just still you still want to have your tribe,
Hmm.
right? And like we were saying, I think on the pre-show about how you have this client who comes in, you set it all up, and then the next day they go, "Yeah, it's not going to work." And that's when I go, "Thanks, God." Because if they commit only halfway, they're going to take 150% of your energy to work
Yeah,
with them,
most probably. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I love the ones that who phone you up and say, "Okay, let's do it." And you're like, "Okay." And they come in 100% every time you meet,
Mhm.
and
You are
yeah,
right.
right? It's like,
Sometimes there are factors that makes it just impossible because you are expecting the company to fund you. And then when you figure out, okay,
but
the company is not able to fund, then you're like, okay, what am I doing now? I'm short, you know.
I know,
So
but so this is,
it's not the right time at this moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
I always say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever the reason, I doesn't matter to me. It's just like when people say, "Well, how much do you charge for whatever? Because I got to pay this, I got to pay this." That's not your client's problem. What you have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Set your price. That's what it is. You figure out how to pay your own bills. But it's also the fact of, do you have all the information going in before you engage in the company for a service, right? If people are coming to me saying, "Oh, we want you to come and do some corporate training," but and I go, "Sure," and then they find out their corporate team says no, um, then why'd you call me? Know what you have to bring to the table before you engage in the company to come in.
Mm. Mm.
Or, I mean, an info session is awesome. If we were to hire you, what could you maybe, that's a different conversation. But it's also comes back to, what do you know you can do within what framework before you enter into the negotiation that you have no pull.
Yeah, but I think everyone is prepared for that. I would not go into a negotiation not being 100% prepared. I
No,
mean,
I know, but I'm saying I'm just using the
who would
example
do
we talked
that?
about,
Yeah.
right?
I
They're
don't know.
setting everything up. Oh, it's not being funded by the company. You should know what you're getting Like, it's just like you're in a company and you go, I would love to take this course in school. Europe's different. We have to pay for it. Um, and then it's like you're deciding if you're going to pay for that product, The bonus is your manager might say, "Oh, you're putting education in? We'll pay half." And you're like, "Bonus."
Yeah.
Right? Because you
The other.
personally had already said, "I'm going
Yeah.
to pay this $1,000 to do this,"
Mhm.
right? If you get reimbursement, great. But as entrepreneurs, we don't think about reimbursement
No. No.
because if it's not done by us, it's not done.
As entrepreneurs, it's like when you are doing some kind of training or something like that, and you pay for that, it's you see it more as an investment, than
Yeah.
anything, right? Because you are investing in yourself, in your personal development, and regardless whether it got reimbursed or not, it's as you say, it's a bonus actually. You see, it
Yeah.
need to be the other way. Yeah.
And I think about when I was in corporate and I was like taking all these different courses and reimbursed, not reimbursed, it didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, like after I left, I was like, oh, I don't know if I would have taken this course if they weren't paying for it. But is it ever helping me now? Thank you, thank you. It
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
help me in my job,
Yeah.
right? Because you take the training and whatever, and then you switch departments and it's like, okay, whatever. But it's helping me in my business now, and I'm so grateful that I
Yeah.
have that. And so we talked about this earlier too, of the difference between Europe to North America and the fact that um, sometimes when you don't pay for it, put your own skin in the game, you take it for granted.
Yes, and that's a
Like,
problem. Yes,
yeah,
people.
like here, you're coming out of university or college saying, before I even step foot into my job, I'm $100,000 in debt.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
And we're not
People.
even going to go for doctors or anything. Like, I mean, just the basic 4-year degree is 100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. No, there's a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
When things are for free, it's not appreciated. There is no value attached to it, actually. It's only then attached to when it's cost something, when there is skin in the game, and then people start thinking and start calculating. Yeah. And I think not everything should be free because, I mean, I think this is another discussion.
Oh, I know, but I totally agree because like,
What you receive, right? And people are doing their job, and people are, doing workshops, doing this, doing that. And then if everything is, you also need to live from something, right?
yeah.
And it's also the worth that you attach to something that you're receiving.
Hmm. Well, and I know for me, like, I used to be the queen of giving them away for free.
Mhm.
And then I was like, That's not working for me,
Yeah.
but it's working for them." And
Yeah.
then it was like, "Oh, well, can you just," and I go, "No. That doesn't mean I don't give away for free still."
Yeah.
But it's also like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the same person. Like, say I help you, but you help Joe.
Exactly. Yeah.
It keeps the circle going. It keeps the momentum going. And it takes your branding message to a whole different level by if you're working the brand with the energy that is keeping it floating.
Yeah. Here we come back. It's full circle. It's about how you make someone feel.
Hmm.
And how you do that, it's up to you. It's up to what you want to be known for, how you do it.
Hmm.
And that can happen in many different ways, right?
So
So we just
th-
discussed.
no, I just had a thought that came to mind that kind of makes me chuckle. Um, how many of your clients or businesses that you work with, do you know if they started in the hospitality?
Most of my clients are offering a service, whether it's doctors,
Okay.
like practices, whether it's in the financial sector, whether it's in the um, online services sector, it's just mostly my clients are service-based, offering a service, yes. Mhm. Yeah, because
Interesting.
here you really need to think about that
Hmm.
in specific, because it's about people. There's the people in the forefront, and it's usually I work, okay, with the one-on-one clients, I work with, I mainly work with people who are entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
And then I have big companies I do workshops with,
Hmm.
like ERGs. And here it's more about um, executive presence. It's about personal branding. It's about, you know, creating creating a team. It's about compassionate leadership. It's about creating an organizational culture
Hmm.
that that ultimately creates this corporate identity that shines to the outside world.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is mostly my client base. Yeah.
Well, and I think like as we talked about earlier, it's not just the logo. It's
No.
how are you presenting yourself in everyday life,
Yeah.
right? Man or woman, are you being kind and opening the door?
Yeah.
Man or woman, are you saying your thank yous and are you being gracious? That all plays a part in how people are going to see your company, how they're going to see you to work with, how it's just, yeah, I'm glad that we're having this conversation because maybe I was stumbling over my own branding, because it's it's presenting your best foot forward no matter what the brand budget is. If your
Hmm.
budget is $100, find the best branding for that, right? If your budget's 100 or $1,000, find your best brand for that.
Yeah, and as I said before, it's not always the budget. It's the way of how you are doing it.
Yes,
How you
that's
put
what yeah,
together style. Your brand style can totally make up for the budget that is behind.
well, because that comes down to you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even though your face isn't on the brand, your face is the camouflage of the brand. Because when they come and they click on your brand, they're getting you. And
Yeah,
if you have a brand that's so flashy and you're just a country girl, right? The misalignment is there, you know?
listen, coming back to where we started, if
Hmm.
there is a brand that has a million of budget, and if there is no feeling attached to it, really attached to it, then there is nothing. It's hollow. It doesn't say much.
Hmm.
Yeah. With all the money, the money doesn't help you. I mean, of course, I mean, if you know strategically, if you understand how branding works, of course you can do more. But you need to know how to. If you
I know,
don't know.
but it's just like we use Porsche, right?
Mhm.
To somebody who's never thought anything of a car, sees a Porsche and goes, "It's a car," right?
Yeah, but there's
Or,
also,
but then there's the other people who go walk in and go, "Oh my gosh, did you see this Porsche?" It's also matching where people are at.
yeah. So here we come in with the lifestyle, the sociographics. Yeah.
Hmm.
There are people that are totally attracted to Porsche. I think there is 5 or 6 different lifestyle groups when it comes to Porsche, what they defined. Yeah.
Okay.
I was teaching for the last 25 years also at universities globally
Hmm.
and different countries around the world. And I was mostly working with cases and with Harvard cases. And that was about these huge brands, how to internationalize, how to, globalize, how to re-engineer, how to, internationalize brands. Yeah?
Hmm.
And so for Porsche, they have different ideal client groups. ideal customers, and for each of these ideal customer, you have a different communication strategy based on their needs, their wants, about how, because a Porsche simply is an extension of yourself, an extension of your identity. So when you are purchasing a Porsche, the Porsche says something about you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
The
but I think that
yeah is defining you as well,
yeah.
because that's how branding works. Yeah.
So okay, we gotta stay on this.
And there is,
We
there
have
is,
to stay on this train because so regardless of the class of Porsche, what's a common thread of people who buy Porsche?
yeah, they want to be seen in a certain way. And that's what I just wanted to say. There are people that are old money. For them, a Porsche is a Porsche. They don't really care much
Okay.
about, because usually they drive a Porsche, for example. And there are those who are just, they're just the newly rich. For them, it's such a status symbol to have achieved that status, so they're able to purchase a Porsche. So they see it in a different way. And then there are others, there's the so-called adventurous. Yeah?
Yeah.
They need Porsche because it means freedom, it means da 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 da. Yeah. Um, so this is defined, and that's how you speak to that specific target audience. Yeah, and
Interesting.
there are several reasons for purchasing a Porsche. Yeah, not everyone purchases a Porsche for the same reason. So that's why we have different target groups or
Yeah.
personas that are defined based on research. They do that research, qualitative studies, quantitative studies, and then they figure out, okay, what are, let's say, the 5 to 6 different personas that are attracted by Porsche. And then they really go into the nitty gritty, into the pain, into the desires, into the wants. And, you know, why is this an extension of their self? What they want to deliver, what do they want to feel when they sit in a Porsche and drive the Porsche, or clean the Porsche, or
Yeah.
picking up the girl with the Porsche. There is a lot of feelings attached to that, and that's how they sell it. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Because I
Yeah, I
know,
don't
I know,
know.
I know people who have Porsches, and it's just like, yeah, you hit every single category. That's hilarious. But
It's like
but that also brings me back to the book in I think in the '90s, where the millionaire next door. He wears his Levi jeans, his white T-shirt. He drives a F-150 Ford pickup, not brand new, because that's a waste of money, right? Couple years old, right? And it's like, and you don't know that he's a multimillionaire because he looks just like you, except everything he has is paid for, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes. So there again, it's all brand awareness. It's all right because Levi's has built their brand for since they started as a rugged, tough jean. It was in the gold rush. Like and the joke is here the only person that actually made money in the gold rush was Levi's
Mm.
because
Yeah.
everyone needed jeans to wear to go up and pan for gold.
Yeah.
No
That's
one
what
else made money.
that was the start with Levi's. I
Yeah,
remember.
right? It's
Yeah.
a
It's I remember Levi's in another way, because after I don't know how many years I was flying, we changed uniform as flight attendants, and we went from skirts to Levi's jeans. So we
really
were the airline in this world who had to wear Levi's jeans.
well.
Crazy.
That's good for you guys.
Not really, because they were tight and up in the air,
Oh,
really uncomfortable in jeans, because up in the air to
they're
work, it
not breathable and if they don't move.
was hard. Yeah. And I don't think it's very healthy either. So, yeah, but it was a phenomenon, and yeah, we were well known. Oh, the island with the jeans.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
See, but then there's another thing, right? Of brand awareness.
Yeah. I mean,
That
they,
that well, no, but I'm just saying, I like I always thought it was a privilege to be able to go on a plane, right?
hmm hmm
And you you dress to go on the plane. Now you see people going on the plane. They put their worst clothes on because they got to be the comfiest clothes, and I'm like,
Oh, you know
it's a
what?
privilege.
You know what? I was flying like to islands in Europe, and women came on board in their bikinis and hot pants. Can you
Yeah.
believe that? And it was freezing cold in the plane up in the air. I was like, how will this girl survive the flight? I mean, it's only 2 hours, but still, it's cold.
Oh, and I know because I remember going with my girlfriend one day, and I'm like, "Why are you bringing your puffy jacket?"
Yeah, always.
Right. I know, but then I was like, "Well, she flies more than me." Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So she says it's either to put on because it's freezing on the plane, or it's my pillow because I'm not using the plane pillow. And I went, "Huh."
Yeah.
Right.
You, you don't know what's in the seats.
No, I know, but it was just like I'm like
Yeah,
interesting,
she's a
right?
frequent traveler.
Oh, big time frequent traveler. But it's interesting too is that she also taught me that a puffy's just not for like snow or whatever. It's for everything. Because if you have a chill in the air, I'm puffing. If you need a pillow, I'm puffing. If you need to go cold, I'm like,
Yeah, it's a
that's
blanket.
the most versatile coat or item that you could have. And I'm like, cool. Like
Yeah.
that's what I like about I don't care if it's a Swiss Army knife, a puffy jacket. If you can't explain why it's good, I'm not interested.
Yeah, so the big why. Here we go again. Why are you doing what you're
Yeah.
doing? Yeah.
But then I
And
also was told from a friend like I'm not normal, and I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you don't
what do you
shop.
consider
No, because
why?
I don't shop, right? So people always try to get me on their shopping programs, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna stop you from wasting your breath. Why? I'm not a shopper. What do you mean? If I want something, I go, I buy it. I do not shop,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And even with groceries, if it ain't on the list, it ain't getting picked up,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I mean, I also changed here. As a flight attendant, I was shopping a lot because you're always on the go. What do? You go shopping. Now I'm the same as you are. I only shop when I need something. I walk in or I order and that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
and like when I was a tour operator, I was doing a lot more shopping, and I'm like, why am I shopping so much? Well, you're by a mall for 4 hours. You're just killing time.
Exactly.
But
That's what we were.
then, but it was really interesting because I would shop, I'd put it under the bus, whatever, and then I'd forget about it and I'd unload. And then, because you weren't home for months on end, you just put it away. It was 3 years before I found a pair of shoes I bought. And I was like, what's in this box? I'm like, oh my God, brand new shoes. Hilarious. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't even buy it for right now. I ended like, so yeah, it's very interesting. So as we're coming to an end, wrapping her up, what do you want people to know about you, about how you could help them with their branding, um, how the show can help?
Um, you know, m my mission is to guide others on their personal, professional, company, corporate branding journeys.
Okay.
And that's how I help people to get the greatness, the brilliance, their excellence out of them. And they unknowingly have it already in them. So I serve as a guide to help them unleash that, understand that, acknowledge that, discern that, and then do something with it. And that's what I'm helping my clients, whether it's one-on-one or in a group coaching or in yeah usually online, and also for big companies for their ERGs. I also help these entrepreneurs who start their journey, who are embarking, let's say, a
Hmm.
corporate, and thinks, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I
Hmm.
still here? It doesn't fulfill me anymore. I actually want to do what I really love doing. It's a side hustle, it's a hobby. I want to do that and make it my business. That's what I help. And I call that entrepreneurial branding.
Hmm.
And I love to do that, helping them getting started with their brand. So, mindset, shifting their mindset, creating a personal brand that radiates, and then tying that and building a company brand around that. Um, yeah, so I think that's what I'm offering. And I'm happy to hop on a 20-minute free call
Yeah.
to go deeper. I'm happy to do that. I also have a free gift. It's an entrepreneurial branding starter checklist. So if you are uh, thinking about starting your own business, this is a great checklist you can use. Um,
Oh,
no
well,
second. And yeah, so this is it. And people can find me on LinkedIn. That's where I am.
okay.
And I also have a website, and I think you put it in the show notes, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I'll have your free offer and everything all in the show notes. And yeah, and I just want to add like the checklist to the entrepreneurship is a great start, but also it's not for the faint of heart.
What is it? The last?
I said entrepreneurship isn't for the faint of heart
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's really easy to go and punch the clock for 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in
Not
that
so,
box.
not so much as an entrepreneur. It's a roller coaster. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's not faint of heart.
exactly. You are absolutely right. I just couldn't get it because the
Oh,
show
uh,
was frozen. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that you have to go in fully and commit fully
yeah.
with all the consequences. But it's the most wonderful journey, and I have gone, and I've learned so much more than, yeah, in all my other chapters in my life, and I would not want to change that anymore.
Well, and it also brings to like um becoming an entrepreneur isn't singling out, it is encompassing everything from the date of birth.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I said every phase of your life is a puzzle piece. And then you embrace your journey and align with your values that you have defined. Yeah. And you create a brand that not only is powerful, but it's also profoundly you. And you can only do that when you have experienced something, when you
Hmm.
had different walks of life, when you
Hmm.
had to overcome hardship, struggles, challenges, hurdles that makes you you. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's the most learning that is in there, and you will definitely encounter that again as an entrepreneur.
Well, and it also like you'll have more appreciation for the boss that used to drive you crazy. Because guess what? You'll get them as clients until you learn the lesson.
Yeah, but also then when you're free of that, you appreciate it so much more because you finally can live a life by your design and create a business by your design.
Yeah.
And you have to take responsibility as well because it's you. You
Yeah.
cannot say it was this person or,
Well, and I like how you said that because it's all your responsibility, it's all your creation. So if you don't like it, guess what? You get to change it.
exactly, anytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's not so easy because, you have a life and you have bills to pay and this and that. But still, you can choose again every moment.
Mhm. Very
Mm.
cool.
Yeah.
Once again, this is Authentic Conversations. I'm your host, Adele Bernard. Today, our guest was Dr. Brigitte Bojkowskys of Brigitte Brands, and check out the show notes. And please subscribe if you like what you hear today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great show with Bridget and a different take on branding. How much she works with the personality of who you are before she works with the branding of your company. And the excitement she finds by working with people to find their true passion in their brand. So check out the show notes. I'll have all the information on how to connect with her on LinkedIn and through her um, client link to have a conversation with her. Do the free test. Maybe you are an entrepreneur, maybe you're not. And once again, this is an authentic conversation. I'm your host, Adele Bernard, and stay tuned for the next one.